We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and as you'd all know, cricket continues to go from women's to men's, and we are back into the women's cricket as the Women's Asia Cup is starting from the 19th of July 2024 at Sri Lanka. I have Neha with me after a long, long time. Neha, welcome to the show. How has been the last few months for you since the WPL? I think women's cricket has kept emerging and made every one of us proud.
Thank you so much, Preetham, for having me back. It's an absolute honor to be here. And it's been some time since we, last spoke. And I think women's cricket has just gone from strength to strength. With the WPL, as an RCB fan, I was really happy seeing RCB win. But more importantly, the manner of the contests we saw, right? I think that really stuck out for me. And I'm hoping, we get to see much more exciting editions as we go ahead. Even on the international front, right? We've seen such stellar contests, and our women have been doing so well. Now with the Asia Cup coming in as well, right? There's just so much to look forward to. And this is a World Cup year, so as many matches we play, it's good for us itself, right? So in that sense, I think it's all good things.
Absolutely. But before we move on to the segment, Neha, I just wanted to know about the recap of this recently concluded T20I series against South Africa. What were the takeaways you could take? The positive ones, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, heading into the T20 I was very optimistic that the Indian women will actually put in a great performance. Matlab, just have a look at the ODI series, clean sweep, 3-0, one-off test. I know that the test match went on for 4 days, yet, the Indian women put in such a great performance and just showed, what they're made of, and managed their unbeaten reign, in test cricket here at home. And then we move on to the T20s where we did expect some tough competition. I mean, South Africa,
Correct.
they had the likes of Chloe Tryon coming back and a few changes here and there. And to their credit, I mean, we did see some tough contest in that first T20I where India couldn't chase down that target, missed by 20 odd runs. Then the second T20I where we were expecting a very, exciting run chase, unfortunately got, washed off because of rain. And yeah, the third T20I, India just, made mincemeat of South Africa, so to say, performed very clinically to pull off that win. I was hoping it was a 5-match T20I series, so we'd see where this would kind of go,
Correct.
because both the teams are going at loggerheads with each other. But in either sense, I think India has a lot of takeaways to take from that series as well. You had Radha Yadav, who once again stepped up. We've seen her performances in T20s. She's an absolute beast in the WPL. Carrying that form on to Bangladesh and now to this series as well. I think she's shown remarkable consistency. With Pooja Vastrakar, for that matter, right? The way she had been bowling in this series, deservingly awarded player of the series for her 8 wickets as well. And Smriti Mandana, I think any adjective will fall short to describe, the kind of performances she's been putting in. Absolute purple patch. Fingers crossed this continues till, till the
Absolutely.
World Cup gets over, and probably forever. But I think it's just a lot of these positive factors that have come together that led to, performances of this nature, and a lot of memories for us fans.
Absolutely. That's what we say about a lot of memories to take away. And I think her coach as well was asking her, what would you take it away from this series? And she said that I'm middling the ball. I want to continue that, not to take it away. That I hope the Asia Cups comes out well for me. Led by Harmanpreet Kaur. Now it's time for the Asia Cup as Team India will take front. Let's take a look into the squad for the side. Starting with the first four players, you spoke about Smriti Mandana, her opening partner Shefali Verma. In a T20 format, I still have that question: who bats at number 3 for you? Is it Jemima Rodriguez? Is it Harmanpreet Kaur who bats at number 4? Is it vice versa? Talk us through these four players, please, and you have the numbers in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, look, in an ideal case scenario, I would have loved to have Jenima Rodriguez, come in at number 3. I think she is your textbook number 3, can accelerate when needed, can get you those quick runs. And she's been doing well in this position. Yet, the team management kind of pushes her in that number 5 slot as well. But just looking at this batting order as well, I think Smriti Mandana and Shefali Verma are the perfect openers anyone would want, right? I mean, the kind of consistency they have shown in this format, irrespective of the challenges, has been quite refreshing, so to say. So, of course, their positions are not under concern. And to just look at the number 3 position, something that has been, under the scanner, like who can be that number 3? I think the team management will still, go for the likes of Dayal and Hemlata. She had a great Bangladesh series as well. And even in this South Africa leg, right, it was quite obvious that they kind of want to go with her. I think when you look at the team management's perspective as well, they're kind of experimenting because Yastika Bhatia usually, occupies that position. And with her being out because of injury, this number three slot gets a little tricky there. And as much as we are tempted to go in with Jemima, at that number three slot, I still feel, they might want to go with Dayal and Hemlata just surely on the basis of her numbers and the way she has been performing in the domestic circuit as well. And Harmanpreet Kaur, our skipper, will of course occupy the number four slot. She has quite literally made it herself, right? So no doubts about that. Yeah.
Absolutely, very good player of spin. All of them are, but the two opening players, I think they can set the stage on fire. To be honest, if they get going, if they explore the power play, we all know how dangerous Shefali Verma can be. Smriti Mandana class is apart. To be honest, so these four players are done and dusty. We move on to the next four players, starting from the right. You said Dayan Hemalata is there, and then coming to the two wicket keepers. No Yastika Bhatia, Uma Chetri made her debut in the recently concluded series. She had a little bit of goosebumps as well, but came out really well as the games progressed. Deepti Sharma, I think her experience with both bat and ball will be very crucial if you can talk us through these four players.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Richa Ghosh, a lot of people had concerns that, why is the team management experimenting with her at number three, especially that series versus Australia, when the likes of Jemima or someone else could have taken that place. But I think what comes in with Richa Ghosh is this whole package, she is very flexible, can adapt to the situation, can give you those runs at number three, at number six. And in this scenario, I think, they would want to use her at number six. Just look at her exploits from the WPL. Every single time RCB lost those wickets up front, we had her stand up and take responsibility and actually score you those runs at the fag end, which is so important, right? So, Richa Ghosh coming in at six is, an absolute no-brainer, and that's something definitely we can look into. And with Uma
And
Chetri as
even,
well,
I'm
right?
sorry to cut you, but even her strike rate is something you definitely need to consider.
Absolutely. I mean, striking at 134, and we've seen, especially in those deaths, how it goes to those 150s and 160s as well. So in that sense, I'm fairly confident that, she will continue to put in those great performances. And I hope, the concussion is not a big matter of concern, right? Because that's where Uma Chetri kind of came in. Another brilliant wicketkeeper in the making. We've seen her performances in domestic cricket. I was a little skeptical, maybe was the call up to India too soon. But so far, whatever little I've seen of her, in the international scene, absolute talent. I hope she's continued to be nurtured and used as a backup to Richa, because
Her
seldom
story
we
is
see
very
that.
motivational, to be honest. I read about her story, walking 15 kilometers from her home
Exactly.
to playing the cricket camp. I think that's very, very motivational. She had the first, I probably she played the second game of the T20I, had the first dismissal where Tasman Brits got a lifeline, but after that, the second game and the third game, she really done well with the gloves, and let's hope her well. But if she has to play in the playing 11, it has to be something to do with the Richa Ghosh. But let's keep fingers crossed. Let's hope that she is fit and fine to play them. But Deepti Sharma and Dayal and Himalata, please.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Deepti Sharma again, an absolute clutch player. She steps up again every single time. The team needs her. Looking at her performances from the WPL, because again, recency bias, was awarded the most valuable player, deservingly so, right? I mean, the way she stood up every single time for the UP Warriors, just coming in, giving them those wickets, late exploits with the bat and everything. There's just so much discussion and chatter about her strike rate, the way she kind of, constructs her innings and everything. But I think with the kind of performances she put in there, and even for India, right, every single time we're in a deadlock situation, we need those wickets. Deepti Sharma just comes up and delivers, right? And with her presence in that playing 11, it of course offers a lot of depth to your batting, and is again a very flexible player because for her domestic side, Bengal, she plays right up at the top of the order. And here she's coming in at 6 and 7, which gives you a lot of assurance and confidence that, hey, we have Deepti still there, who can get us those quick runs if needed. And yeah, gets you wickets every single time. What more do you want?
Absolutely, and that's the class of Deepti Sharma, the bowler, the batter. We recently had a concluded Bengal Pro T20 League with the women's side and 8 teams, but they played really well. But she was part of one of the side, but had to go to national duties. So was Risha Ghosh, so was Tita Sadhu. But Dayal and Himalata, as you said, she might once again be back to number three. So this sums up the four players out here. Moving on to the next four. Coming on to the all-rounder section now, Shriyanka Patil, I still rate her very smart bowler, just like she was for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, who won the WPL as well this season. Then you have Sanjeevan Sanjana, she's also there. Then you have Radha Yadav and then Asha Shobana. Four spinners, if you can sum it up, you have to choose between out of these four, probably two or maximum of three who are there for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is perhaps one of the toughest calls. First, let's probably talk about them. Shriyanka Patil, again, hails from our city of Bengaluru and playing for RCB as well. She has done remarkably well. And I think ever since her debut, she's taken the most wickets in the T20 format as well. Was a little upset that she didn't make it into that playing 11 in the first T20, but eventually, she did get her spot in. And the way, she's able to accelerate and get you those wickets as well, makes the most of the conditions. She's definitely a unique proposition to have in the team, and I hope India kind of gives her those chances as well. And looking at Sajna Sajeevan as well, right? Another breakout star that kind of emerged from this edition of the WPL was brilliant. I mean, again, just thinking it gives me goosebumps of how in the very first match, hit that six and ensured Mumbai Indians won. Not a very memorable
Absolutely.
campaign for Mumbai, but then I think it's just given the world Sajana, and we are really lucky to have a player of her nature. So far, just looking at her India performances hasn't inspired a lot of confidence for people, but I'm still sure she will come strong, and we need to back her because she's that sort of a player who will get better with time. Again, very humble beginnings, comes from Kerala and has had a lot of struggles as well. So I hope she can keep her place. And Radha Yadav, yeah, another bright spot perhaps in India's like South Africa T20 leg side of things. Was getting you wickets at will, is a gun fielder and also offers a lot with the bat, right, at the latter end of the innings. So Radha Yadav definitely would make the cut. Even just looking at her numbers from that Bangladesh tour, she is definitely going to be a must-have, in your
Okay.
playing 11 later in that World Cup as well. Yeah.
Okay, and Asha Shobana, I think she's the finger spinner you want to have, a leg spinner, which can be very brutal in the side. So you said about Radha Yadav might be leading the line. You said about Shriyanka Patil, Asha Shobana, you need a wicket taker. I understand there are a lot of wicket takers in your side, but do you still have her in part of your list?
Yeah, with Asha Chopra, my biggest concern is the fact that she doesn't offer a lot with the bat. A stellar leg
Yeah.
spinner has worked under the guidance of L. Sivaramakrishnan, and even the kind of story she has had to reach where she is just fantastic. Kerala, Railways, and now playing for Pondicherry and everything. Even her India performances so far have inspired confidence. But again, when it comes to her fielding side of things, a lot is left to be desired. That's why probably she would not immediately make it into my playing 11. I think it's again very dependent on other conditions. I mean, Sri Lanka is again subcontinent conditions, so you want to go in with a lot more spinners. But Asha would definitely probably not make my first choice.
Okay.
But either case, I think the opportunity prime wicket takers.
Okay. So moving on to the last three bowlers, that is the seamers time now. Pooja Vastrakar, Arundhati Reddy, and Renuka Singh Thakur. I think Renuka is surely part of that 11 because of the swing she provides, the skill she provides. Who is the other bowler? Who is the opening partner? Is it Pooja Vastrakar, which is likely to be?
Yeah, I mean, again, recency bias probably driving my decision here. It has to be Pooja Vastrikar because looking at the span of just these 2, 3 months, right, the way she has stepped up with the ball, accompanying whoever is at the other end and being that ideal bowling partner, it's just been fantastic, right? I think even Smriti Mandana in yesterday's press match conference, post match conference, was talking about how Pooja Vastrikar has just grown, so much and has shouldered the responsibility of leading the pace attack. And in India too, right? We just obsess so much over pace all rounders, and with Pooja Vastakar, doing the job so diligently, time and again. I know this season of the WPL must have not given a lot of people an exact indication of where she is, but again, it depends on how she's used in the match. But if the performances versus South Africa in the T20 like is any indication, I think she is definitely going to make it into that playing 11. Offers a lot with the bat, can be that ideal bowling partner to Renuka Singh Thakur as well, because looking at the conditions of Sri Lanka, eventually even Bangladesh, they are going to be spin friendly, right? So if we have these two paces, we can probably get in your three spinners, and that will probably settle the balance of the playing 11, so
Yeah.
to say.
Absolutely. So that would definitely make it. We're done with the squad. Thank you so much, Neha, for explaining the entire players, all the players. Let's take a look into the fixtures so far for Team India in the Women's Asia Cup. Yeah, it is starting with the big game, 19th of July versus Pakistan, then playing UAE, and then playing Nepal. So you can fancy your chances, table toppers as well. But Dambula, it's a very good ground, assisting the spinners. The wicket in the recently ongoing Lanka Premier League is assisting the batters. So a lot of runs can be expected out here. But looking into the fixtures, definitely you will attempt yourself to get 3 out of 3.
Certainly, I think India has placed beautifully in Group A with the likes of Pakistan, UAE, and Nepal. I think Pakistan is one opposition that we definitely can't take lightly, right? I think if last
Yeah,
edition gave us an indication of where they are, the one loss, the solitary loss was versus Pakistan, which was a hard pill to kind of swallow. But even just looking at Pakistan, I know the results have not gone in their favor. A lot of transition happening. Bisma Maruf is no more. Their captain Nidadar is taking over, but there's still a team you cannot write off. And any India Pakistan match is an absolute blockbuster. So of course,
absolutely.
Asia Cup had to start with this match versus Pakistan, and I'm quite excited for this one. Even looking at UAE and Nepal, right? UAE still has like a lot of like Indian origin players, like Esha Oza, their skipper, another brilliant player, scores runs in like
Okay.
runs aplenty, right? So again, just looking forward to seeing how she kind of fares versus India and Nepal too, right? We just talk so much about the men's team, the women's team as well, right? Has players who have been playing for such a long period of time, and their
Okay.
performances, in the international circuit haven't been that great. But again, remarkable players from there, the likes of Rubina Chetri, they've been playing for such a long period of time, and I think one of their players has even had the chance of playing the WBBL. So again,
Oh,
players who
wonderful.
come in, who come in with a lot of experience in that sense. Perhaps India can look at those easy wins versus UAE and Nepal, but versus Pakistan is one match that I'd probably put all my money in because hey, this is going to be a blockbuster.
Absolutely. Blockbuster in second game of the Women's Asia Cup 2024, India versus Pakistan at 7 p.m. IST as well as local. Sit back and enjoy that. We're done with the schedule. Let's take a look into the top three players to watch out from Team India. Here are my three choices, Neha. Smriti Mandana, Harmanpreet Kaur, as well as Deepti Sharma are my three. A lot of players to pick out for, but I have chosen these three. Do you agree the same? If yes, otherwise, who are your other picks?
No, I'm not too surprised with these choices, Preetham, because all this trio has been doing really well. I mean, Harmanpreet Kaur is our skipper, has time and again proven why she deserves that spot. And even, is an amazing player of spin, her paddle sweep, her sweep shots, and everything, just goes to show the kind of experience and how she kind of just owns that number four slot as well. Smriti Mandana, again, we've discussed about her. Stellar player is probably in her purple patch, fingers crossed she can kind of continue that vein of form. And Deepti Sharma, of course, our MVP all rounder who always steps up and delivers. But if I had to add a couple of names to key players to watch out for, would definitely be Jemima Rodriguez, right? Now, again,
Okay.
a lot of people feel that she should be playing at number three. I myself advocate for that, but the way she has just stepped up right at that number five position has been remarkable. Even just looking at her numbers with the Delhi Capitals, I think she's just a brilliant player. You throw anything at her, she still manages to find a way to, crawl out of that situation. And T20 is by far the most challenging format, and she has managed to,
Absolutely.
touch wood, do so well in this format. And it's very surprising that she hasn't been able to translate that to the ODIs as well. So I'd probably add even Jemima and Radha Yadav, of course, again on the basis of the kind of performances she's been putting in the T20s as well. So yeah, that would probably be my key players to watch out for.
Okay, so you spoke about Jemima Rodriguez. I think she's also an exceptional fielder as well. So kudos. So you have given your picks. I've given my picks. We're done with the players to watch out for. Let's look into the final segment, which is the predicted playing 11. Here is my predicted playing 11. I can assume there might be a lot of changes for you. I've gone with three pacers, three spinners. This is the combination Shefali and Smriti Mandana, without a doubt, my two openers. Jemima at 3, Harmanpreet at 4, Richa Ghosh at 5, Deepti Sharma at 6. Then moving on to the bowling all-rounders, Pooja and Shriyanka Patil with the three bowlers, Renuka Singh Thakur, Asha Shobna and Arundhati Reddy. You spoke about Radha Yadav being your MVP. I'm definitely assuming you have her in the playing 11. So what's yours?
Yeah. Mine, I think, sees a slight change with Smriti Mandana and Shefali Verma, of course, opening. At three, I slotted in Dayal and Hemlata because, might as well just give her the longer rope and, see if she
Okay.
can persist. And at four, of course, we have Harmanpreet Kaur. At five, I would bring in Jemima again because of her numbers in the South Africa series and the WPL as well. At six, it is Richa Ghosh. Then we have Deepti Sharma, Pooja Vastrakar, and yeah, I think here's where the small change comes in. I bring in Radha Yadav in place of Asha Shobna again because of what she offers with the bat, and the rest I think pretty much stays the same with Shriyanka
So
Patil.
Shriyanka Patil and Renuka Singh is your 10 and 11. So
Yes.
pretty much doesn't. But my simple question for you is that you have Dayal and Emal at the 3, but will Jemima Rodriguez turn out to be as effective as she is at number 3 at number 5?
I think again it depends on the match situation. If we lose those early wickets in clumps, I think that's where someone like a Jenima can come in, or probably if the situation requires a little bit of power hitting, and Harmanpreet Kaur can't offer you that, probably you can have Jenima come in. I think that's the speciality of any T20 side, right? Flexibility. So at any point
Okay.
they feel Hemlata is not doing her job as well as they would expect her to do. That's probably when Jenima would come in at 3, and you'd probably have Asha Chopra, playing in as that extra spinner. This is again from my assumptions. Couldn't
Absolutely.
be the truth as well, but yeah.
Absolutely. So Neha has given her predicted playing 11 as well. So we are done and dusted with the squad preview of Team India women's side for the upcoming Asia Cup starting from the 19th of July. Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. We'll come back again with the remaining teams as well. Sit back and enjoy. Till then, thank you so much and bye-bye.
Thank you.